I would like to just ask a big favor of you. If you're watching this video, it's because you're a friend or a friend of a friend. And I would really appreciate it if you like any of the videos that I've made to copy the link and send them to, let's say, 5 of your friends. And if your friends will forward it to others, then the channel will grow and more people can be ministered to. So if you think there's someone who would like this video or any of the other videos that I've made so far, please copy the link and send it to them. You can do it by text, you can do it by iMessage, or by email, okay? Thank you so much. Now enough of the commercial, and let's get to the lesson. Today's lesson is called Come Away, My Beloved. So to come to somebody, you have to leave something. So what is the Lord asking us to leave to come to Him? You might be interested in finding out. And again, all the passages I'll be reading today are from the Passion Translation. So let's see, what does He want us to come away from? He says, come away, my beloved, from fear. Fear of any kind blocks you from a fullness of knowing the Lord. In 2 Timothy 1:7, it says, for God will never give you the spirit of fear, but the Holy Spirit, who gives you mighty power, love, and self-control. So God doesn't give you fear. He gives you love, power, and self-control. God only gives you good things. So come away from fear. And 1 John 4:18, it says, love never brings fear, for fear is always related to punishment. But love's perfection drives the fear of punishment far from our hearts. Whoever walks constantly afraid of punishment has not reached love's perfection. When I first became a Christian and I read the King James Bible, it said, perfect love casts out all fear because fear has torment. And I was tormented many times in many ways. And I learned this. This was the first verse I learned. And it helped me so much because perfect love does take away all fear. And if you have fear, give it to Him. He wants you to give it to Him. And instead of fear, He will give you mighty power, love, and self-control. What else would He like you to come away from, beloved one? He says, come away, my beloved, from the works of the carnal nature. In Galatians 5:16 and 17, it says, as you yield freely and fully to the dynamic life and power of the Holy Spirit, you will abandon the cravings of your self-life. For your self-life craves things that offend the Holy Spirit and hinder Him from living freely within you. And the Holy Spirit's intense cravings hinder your old self-life from dominating you. So then, the two incompatible and conflicting forces within you are your self-life of the flesh and the new creation of the Spirit. You have a war all the time going on inside of you. You have God who is telling you the good things to do, and then you have your self-life, your selfish desires, the sins, habits that you have in your life are warring against the purity and the holiness of God. Let's just say fear, for example. I'm afraid to do this. I can't do it. I'm not able to. And God says, I have given you mighty power and love and a sound mind. Why can't you do it? Well, because I'm not able to. But I am with you. I'll never leave you or forsake you. I will help you all the time. But. And you got this war and this inner turmoil all the time. And you want to, but you can't. And God says you can, and then you go, I can't. And as you surrender that and you give it to Him, He takes it away. And He gives to you all the good things that he has, on all the good things that he is. So come away from your fears, my beloved, and live in the freedom that God has for you. Freedom from fear. Can you imagine not being afraid? Wow, that's awesome. In 1 Peter 2:1, it says, so abandon every form of evil, deceit, hypocrisy, feelings of jealousy, and slander. In the footnotes, it says, the Aramaic uses an interesting word that could be translated oasis rest. The thought that we must be completely free from evil and be at rest within. Purity is an oasis rest for the people of God. So as you give up your sin, as you give up the ways of the world, the things that are contrary to God, you'll find a rest comes into you, a peace that passes understanding. The conflict, the war inside, that turmoil is done because you've given it to him, and he's given you what is good and what is pure and what is strong, what is righteous and what is lovely. And you don't have to have that battle anymore. And you can win that in every area of your life. As we go from glory to glory, he takes away other things. As we surrender them, we give it to him, he takes it and replaces it with beautiful things, beautiful qualities, strength, an inner strength, and a deep, abiding peace. Why do we want to hold on to those old sinful ways when we can have his wonderful ways? Let go of your sin and totally give everything to the Lord. He wants you to come away from that carnal nature and enter into the spiritual nature so you can live with him in a greater harmony and a greater love and a greater knowledge of who he is and who you are in him. Then he says, come away, my beloved, from doubts. In James 4:7 and 8, it says, so then surrender to God. Stand up to the devil and resist him, and he will turn and run away from you. Move your heart closer and closer to God, and he will come even closer to you. But make sure you cleanse your life and keep your heart pure and stop doubting. Doubts can keep you bound up so tight, just like you have chains wrapped around you and you can't move. But if you get rid of the doubts, then you can grow closer to God. I'm going to read it one more time and just listen to the directions that the Lord is giving us in this passage. So then surrender to God. Stand up to the devil and resist him, and he will turn and run away from you. Move your heart closer and closer to God, and he will come even closer to you. But make sure you cleanse your life and keep your heart pure and stop doubting. Wow, those are really good directions. And I hope that you'll take them to heart and live your life free from doubt and come away from doubt and come to the Lord and let your hearts come closer and closer and closer. It's so good. And the last thing I'm going to talk about today that the Lord gave me is come away, my beloved, from anxiety. In Psalm 46:10, surrender your anxiety. Be silent and stop striving, and you will see that I am God. I am the God above all the nations, and I will be exalted throughout the whole earth. Wow. More instructions. Listen again. Surrender your anxiety. What good does anxiety do us anyway? It keeps us all stressed, and it can physically harm you. You have headaches. You can have all kinds of ailments because you're in stress and anxiety, and fear will come in, and it gets compounded and way out of control. So he says, surrender your anxiety. Be silent. Get those thoughts in your mind stilled. Silence them. You don't have to listen to the nagging, anxious, stressful thoughts that are bombarding your mind. Be silent, he says. And stop your striving. You can't do it alone, but say, Holy Spirit, you're my comforter, you're my guide, you're my teacher. Help. And he'll help. He will. He'll show you how to get rid of it. He'll give you the strength and the power to let it go. So he says, surrender your anxiety, be silent and stop your striving, and you will see that I am God. Because when we have all this anxious thoughts and stress and going on, it's hard to find God sometimes. But if we stop all those voices, if we silence them and we're still in that sweet stillness and peace, we will sense God in such a powerful, powerful way. And in Luke 21:34, it says, be careful that you never allow your hearts to grow cold. Remain passionate and free from anxiety and the worries of this life. Then you will not be caught off guard by what happens. Don't let me come and find you drunk or careless and living like everyone else. That is a good word for today. Let me read it one more time. Be careful that you never allow your hearts to grow cold. Remain passionate and free from anxiety and the worries of this life. Then you'll not be caught off guard by what happens. Don't let me come and find you drunk or careless and living like everyone else. So the Lord is saying, come away, my beloved. Come away from all these things, and you can come closer to me. Come away from fear. Come away from the carnal nature. Come away from doubts. Come away from anxiety, and you will find me in a fuller way. You will find me to be your one and your only, your Alpha and your Omega, the source of everything you need, the source of everything. And you will find a happiness and a peace that passes understanding. A joy will flood your life, and you will just find that you have the strength. You can do it because you're not alone. You have taken away these things, and where they have been surrendered to the Lord, he pours in his goodness. He pours in his kindness, his gentleness, his peace, his joy, his strength. So my darlings, come away from those things and come to your Lord. Because remember, Jesus is coming courting. God bless you all. Be sure to like this video and share it with your friends. Thank you. Bye now.